Yo everyone, it's Sam here. Welcome back to MotoGP 14 career. It has been an age since the last episode of this, and a lot has happened in the off season between the beginning of the first season and our two wildcard appearances. Unfortunately, there was some legal issues with the Team Italia team. I couldn't get the sponsorship money and stuff, and I ended up losing my ride. But luckily enough, the Saxo Print Racing Team Germany came in and gave me an offer, and I was all too quick to take it. And by that, what I actually mean was I lost the original footage for episode 3, so I actually restarted my career. But yeah, as it turns out, I've actually ended up at a much better team because of it. So I'm looking much more forward to this than I was. And we are back here now at the beginning of the first season. I've gone back and done the wildcard races, as I said. And yeah, here we are then in Qatar. I've pretty much going to keep most of the the settings the same as before. I am actually going to put on the bike problems, the technical problems though, for both the AI and the player. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I don't know if I'm going to have random blowouts at some point of my engine, but we'll see how it goes. But let's go to the qualifying session now then.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Losail circuit in Qatar. Everything is ready now for the start of the qualifying session that will decide who will take pole position on the starting grid tomorrow. The weather forecast for this session is extremely good, but with this circuit being in the middle of the desert, there's always a chance that sand could be blown onto the track, and that can create some real grip problems for the riders.
Now you're a member of a team, you'll have to do your part to contribute to bike development. Every component influences an aspect of performance. Components are developed by acquiring data packs. You can show the squad which component to work on at any moment. But remember, you can only obtain one data pack per session. Developing a component may require more or fewer packs, depending on the complexity of the component. To obtain the data pack for each session, just complete a full lap of the track and a signal will notify you that the data is being collected. When you have completed a component, it will be installed automatically for the following race weekend.
So yeah, we kind of get this sort of R&D kind of thing at the beginning of our first season. Then we can actually, I think what it basically is you select which bit you want to give an update to, and then you just go out and do some laps with it, and it'll pretty much install it. So speaking of which, here we are then at the end of this first lap, and you can see it's not really going to be a very competitive lap. You can see we're already slower than the time. We haven't even got to the line yet, and of course we're going to go a few seconds over the pace, but we have got this update now. I think it's the engine I selected, and yeah, it was only 17th for us there. I mean, still a long way to go in the session though. But as you're going to see here, the track limits thing with the penalty timer, it does get very annoying, especially because I still struggle with understeer a lot on these Moto3 bikes, so I find myself running out wide a lot, and it's really frustrating. I think I might actually turn off that penalty timer, even if I do get less EXP for it or whatever it is in this game. But you can see we're all the way at the end of the session, and I really was struggling to improve here. I was down in 23rd place now. You can see I was running wide there. I mean, the upside of having a 40-minute qualifying session is you do kind of get an idea of which corners you can can extend and which ones you can't. So I guess that's kind of an upside to it. But we're going to come across the line now in a second, and you can see it's not really going to be a very decent time here, and it looks like we're going to be qualifying quite far down the field. And there we are in 24th place. As I forgot to mention, I have actually downloaded the DLC for this now, so we are going to have fuller grids. I mean, for some reason it doesn't allow the full 35 or however many it is onto the grid all at the same time, but we do have all the riders available now, and there's going to be 29 on each race. So going straight to the grid there, you can see my teammate Vasquez in 6th place, and my other teammate John McPhee in 11th. Racing Team Germany, and we've got 2 British riders, so I'm not sure really what to say about that, but you can see we were only 24th, so it wasn't really what we wanted for this first race, but we'll see how we can do. I think my target position for this is like 15th, so I'm certainly hoping I can do a lot better. I know that the Honda is a much improved bike this season, so we're underway now then in Qatar for this first round of the season, and I get a pretty decent start then. I go stuck in behind these guys to get a bit of a slipstream. I've got the inside line across this corner, I throw out the inside with quite a few riders there, and I'm straight up to 19th, so it's been pretty good stars. I get a nice nudge there from Livio Loy, I believe that was. I got the inside again for turn 2, and I'm up into 17th place now, so already only a couple of positions off a point and of course our target position. It's down to 15th if you don't know the MotoGP point system. I'm looking on the inside again here. I really wanted to try and get as many positions as I could here in these early laps, and I'm through on Haneke now then, who was a rookie in this, you may know, and we're going around the outside now with a few riders such as Granado and Guevara. They couldn't quite work first there as they come back on the inside, and Haneke's having a look at us as well. The AI, they certainly will not just bend over for you if you like, but we're certainly going to fight back here, and we're back through on Granado there, and now past Masbu almost, and there's a little bit of contact there, but we're up into 13th place now. Then we've got a teammate just ahead of us, but you can see Masbu fighting straight back there, and now Guevara's looking back at us as well, and this is going to be a race-long battle with these guys. You can already tell, because it doesn't matter what moves we're putting on them, they're just going to keep coming straight back at us, and I guess that's kind of what Moto3 is all about in some way, didn't you? If you've ever watched any Moto3 races, you'll know that the competitiveness of the series is very, very good, and it never fails to give you an entertaining race. I mean, if you've ever seen some of the battles for the win, and even last season's championship, which actually went down to the final corner, yeah, you'll certainly know that how exciting it can be to watch as we're exiting the final corner now, then sliding the back end a lot, but we're in the slipstream now, and there is going to be a lot of slipstreaming down this long straight as we're getting past Granado, but you can see the KTM now on the outside, or the inside in fact, is going to come through on us here. In turn 1 we're going to go 3 wide. I managed to get later on the brakes, but am I going to get into the corner and get through it ahead? And it looks like I am, although Haneke's coming back and he's very good aggressive move there on the inside. So some very aggressive riding there from the KTM rider, and I've got turn 2 all wrong. I've left back both of them through. I think both those two on KTM's there, the Red Bull KTM IO and the I think that's the Calvo team there that Granado's up on. Very late on the brakes again, nudging Granado again, and I think Haneke as well. I'm back on the inside of Granado here, and it looks like Haneke might be thinking about pulling away, but I've managed to get back under the inside of him, and of course they just come straight back at me, as does Granado, and you can really see what I'm on about now. The AI in this game are not very forgiving at all, and of course it is going to be a race-long battle. Yeah, I've already said that, but it really is true, and we're back head for now then. You can see in the bottom left that our teammate's getting overtaken as well there. He's down to 13th. That's a really useful thing there, I think, in the bottom left. It shows what's going on, and it shows you what's going on all through the field, as well as Haneke just seems to outdrive us on the exit of the previous corner. And you know that KTM's always been quite well known in Moto3 for having a lot more power, certainly in the first 2 seasons than the Honda. Certainly in 2012 and 2013, I think the Honda riders certainly suffer from that a lot more as we've run wide there. And honestly, I don't think engine power is really my problem with these bikes, more just the understeer, although I have to say it's not quite as bad as the Mahindra, I don't think, but yeah, for some reason I don't think the 2014 Mahindras seem to be as good as, say, the KTMs and Hondas, but that's just how it is. And I know the Hondas improved a lot for this season, because just 2013 was just a dismal season for them, with KTM completely dominant. So heading down the pit straight now, we've kind of lost touch to Haneke a bit, and Granado is coming through, and Bastianini. I want to look back at the inside, and there's a big crash here, and luckily I do remember that we have got a rewind this time, but that is exactly why you do not cut someone up in a braking zone, because that was a huge accident there, and I mean, in real life that would have probably caused some rather nasty injuries, not just to me, but probably those two as well, Granado and Bastianini, because my bike just went flying at them there. And yeah, luckily I did remember to use my rewind that time, so I haven't really lost anything, and I'm back ahead of them now. But as you can see, Haneke is definitely pulled away now, and it's going to be difficult to catch him back up, especially as we're in this battle here for 16th. And that is really what Moto3 is like. I mean, as I go back to some like previous examples again, like you'll see a lot in races that it's very difficult for like groups of riders to go from one to another. Like if you're battling for 5th place and there's like a few of you, and then there's like the front 4 and then different group up ahead battling for the lead, you'll find it very difficult if you're in 5th place to pull away from that group and go after the front group, just because well, as you can see here, those guys in your group, they're just going to keep on passing you over and over again, and you're going to have to keep on fending them off and of course making some overtakes of your own. So it's one of those things in Moto3 that once people have pulled away from you, you're going to find it very difficult to catch them back up again and pull away from your group, because of just how competitive it can be. And of course, as you've seen on the straights, the slipstream on these things is very, very powerful. And you can see we're down to 19th place now, in fact, so it's not going too well at the minute, you'd have to say, because of course we want to be going for 15th here. I mean, we did start down in 24th place, so I guess you could say it's an improvement on that so far, but the fact that we were up as high as about 13th on the first lap is a bit disappointing here, because now we're actually dropping back, it looks like, from these guys. So unless we get into a bit of slipstream here, then we're going to lose touch with them as well, and we're going to end up with these guys behind us battling with, I'm not sure what words I was trying to say there, they all came out in the wrong order, but you can see it was Binder and Lloyd behind us that line us up here. Looking at our 19th place, you can see we're in 2nd now behind Granado, so it's going to be very difficult for us to make it up again. I mean, there's some places on the track where I'm faster than the AI, so there's always those chances to catch up, but it seems that once I get out onto that straight and where the best overtaken place is, I just seem to be too far back on them, so it's going to be very difficult here to catch these guys back up. And of course I don't want to push too hard, because I'll either crash or I'll just run wide and get penalty time, and that's just going to ruin things completely. So you really do have to try and think sensibly about this, and try and not do anything rash, and just try and remain calm and like have a plan of what you're going to do and like where you're going to try and gain time, because like one mistake and it really does ruin the whole race. I mean, and well, you can see there we've hit Loy and we've gone down, we've already used our flashback, so we've lost out big time there, and we're down to 26th place now, so that's a bit of a disaster for us then in this first race. And that's exactly what I was saying about you do just have to let sensible it sometimes, and not go for any rash moves. I mean, I don't think we were really doing anything too rash there, but I think it was just a bit of carelessness on our part to get into a little bit of an incident with Loy there when he was on our inside. And I mean, I know that certainly on F1 I'm very critical of people when they do that, but yeah, I guess kind of did it there, and it led to me crashing. So it doesn't look like we're going to be getting anywhere near our target position here, because we're now in this group battling for, well, I guess you'd say about 24th place. I don't even think we're going to catch those few guys up ahead who are like in sort of like 20th, 21st, 22nd. But as meets back toward us here, and we're going to try and get on the slipstream here. We should have a good slipstream here. A Honda engine really working now. You can see we're almost on the limiter here, down the straight into turn 1, and I'm going to try and get both of them here on through on as we end on Sissis, but they might try and cut back here like Hanukkah did to us a few laps ago. And doesn't that seem like quite a while ago now, as we go back through on in turn 2 on Sissis, and he's right there again on us, and there could have been an instant there, but luckily we managed to avoid it, and we're hanging on to this for now then. As on the final lap, in fact, so I'm not even sure if I even mentioned that, but you can just see how action-packed these races are, that it's just over before you can even really think about it, and we do get some penalty time there, and that is what really annoys me about this game. So I don't think I'll be using it for much longer, because it just really annoys me, and I don't think there's really any point to it, because you don't actually even gain time when you run wide, so it all just seems kind of pointless, the whole penalty time thing. I mean, like, even if you like cut corners, you just get warnings and then ride through penalties, so I really don't see the point of the penalty timer. But I guess it's something they put in, and I'll probably be turning it off next race. So yeah, there's not really much that's going to happen now then, I don't think, because we've got a decent gap for the guys behind us, and those guys ahead of us seem a bit too far ahead, so I don't think there's really much that's going to happen in these final few corners, but you never know. And yeah, you can see the gap is only half a second ahead of this, in fact, so we are going to have to try and pull that out in these final few corners. And you can see that the lead is already finished. It's Finati who wins, so some good news there at least. And there's my teammate in 7th place, from Vasquez that is. I'm not sure where McPhee is. I think he'd probably been around 12th or 13th, based on where he was when we saw him. But we're coming across the line, and we did actually get some more penalty time. I didn't even notice. But across the line, and it is not going to be a very good result for us here then. We crossed line 24th, but we did have penalty time, so it looks like it's going to be not even that. You can see the final results then, and it was no dead heat at the front. Interestingly, I don't know why that keeps on happening, but for some reason it says it's Marquez who won there. But yes, our teammate was 15th, I think it was there. You can see we were actually bumped down to 26th, so not been a very good start to the season for us then. There was one retirement, I guess that was a bike failure for Jules Danilo. But yeah, here's our first look at the championship, and it's Finati back in front now then, so I'm not sure what was going on with the game there, but now it's saying that Finati's won it again. So as Vasquez in 7th, and I'm pretty sure McPhee was 15th, so yeah, but the constructors didn't like how you would expect in F1. It's really more about manufacturers rather than the individual teams, so they can see that KTM got the full 25 for that. And I can't remember, it was in 2nd, but yeah, it was Marquez who's on Honda. So that's pretty much it then for round 3. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, and I'll see you next time for the Grand Prix of the Americas. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.